All great things were once an idea. An idea can change the world. But what if somebody steals that very idea of yours? You'd be shocked, right? Now, this is one of the biggest problems or challenges that people face before entering the world of startups. And this is a challenge that I face myself. So, guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about ideas. My name is Shashank, and I welcome you to the third episode of the first 1,000 days of building a startup. In this video, we're going to talk a lot of things about ideas, such as in what instances can get ideas get stolen, famous people and their thoughts about ideas, some few instances where ideas might have gotten stolen, and a few other things. So let's not waste a lot of time and let's get started. So I watched the Inception like so many times, but still could not understand and make much of it. But this idea stuck around. So here it is. An idea is like a virus, resilient, highly contagious. And even the smallest seed of an idea can grow. It can grow to define you or destroy you. So in today's video, the agenda is these. We're going to talk about some examples where ideas might have gotten stolen, some famous people and their thoughts on ideas. When do ideas get stolen? The journey of from idea to execution, and the burning question: should one be worried if they're looking to start up, but they fear that their idea might get stolen? Three inventions: the light bulb, Facebook, and McDonald's. Now, the light bulb, a lot of people know and call Mr. Edison as the inventor, but if you look it up on Google, you'll find a list of names. A lot of people know Facebook, Instagram, and a lot of other companies that Facebook owns. But if you watch the social network, you'd notice that the movie is about a lawsuit between the Winklevoss brothers and Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. But again, the world knows of Facebook and the world knows of Zuckerberg and perhaps not the brothers. And the third case would be Ray Kroc versus Mac and Dick McDonald. Now, this video is not really about discussing the depths of the scenarios of these examples, but the idea is the world knows of the people who brought these ideas into execution. Because, bringing an idea into execution is not really an easy job. But before that, let's see what the famous people have to say. I'm not going to read it again, but the first guy is Seth Godin. He's one of the biggest marketing guys in the world. Second is Mark Twain, and the third is Steve Jobs. So a lot of people, or we might have often heard that ideas come dime a dozen. There is one sect of the world which says and considers ideas to be like something that is worth nothing if you not executing it. Some people say that people steal ideas all the time. Some people think, or there's this entire sect of the society which thinks that ideas are one in a million, and some good ideas, if stolen, you might not get the same idea again. So it's like a very conflicting set of thoughts. But in the world of startups, people do not value ideas. It might be true in different other scenarios where people value ideas, but an idea which is just an idea might not have a lot of value. For instance, when the world was hit by the pandemic, everybody had the idea, right? Like, hey, we'll get a vaccine, then everything will be sorted. But bringing that idea to life, that entire journey is not something that everybody could go through, because one, you did not, a lot of people did not have the required expertise to do that. And second, even if there were people who had the expertise, they might not have the resources or the team to pull off that idea and bring that idea to life. So, although ideas are super important and super valuable, but if ideas are not acted upon, they might not see the face of reality. Let's continue. Because the entire process of bringing an idea from just an idea to the execution stage is excruciatingly hard. I'm not sure if I pronounce that word right, but yeah, I hope you get the emotion, the bhavna. So it's like a crazy ride. And let me tell you something very honestly, which I think if somebody steals your idea, then they are in for a run, because their life is going to be like a lot of fun going through this journey. And a lot of times when you reach at the top of the stage, you realize that you've been chasing the wrong idea all this while. So yeah, so far, my opinion has been that ideas, yes, they might get stolen, but even if they get stolen, the process of that idea coming to life is like a very painful process. But I kind of want to also talk about how do you get an idea? A lot of people think that ideas are like those eureka moments where you wake up and you have those ideas, but it's not usually the process. A lot of inventions, a lot of discoveries have been made because somewhere some people experienced a problem. For example, when the computers were invented, the first purpose of the computer was not really to allow teenagers to upload their pictures and ask for likes and comments. It was to solve the problem of the war. There was a lot of computational challenges where countries had to calculate the trajectories at which they could fire their artilleries and all of that. So basically, the computers were invented to do a lot of mathematical computing. So they kind of went through this process, and then they validated the idea evolved, they built an MVP, which is like a basic functioning version. They validated that product market fit, growth and scale. We'll not talk about this right now, but the point is, a lot of people often confuse ideas to be something which is very random, but the truth is all good and all great ideas that have taken the shape of execution today have gone through this process of first experiencing the pain or the problem statement. Then you identify that, you kind of validate that problem by asking people around you, and then you build on that. A lot of good ideas have come because they've identified and gone through this problem statement of experiencing it, identifying it, validating it, and then coming the eureka moment. But there's a lot of work to be done even after that. I mean, we have the emotional journey that is here, that is like definitely out there. This this journey is like an endless thing. So an idea to an execution is like not an easy thing. Like if you take light bulb as an example, first we had those ugly looking yellow bulbs which consumed a lot of power, and then we had CFLs, and then we had LEDs, and now there is something called mini LEDs. Facebook started off as Facebook, but Facebook is nearly dead. A lot of teenagers, early millennials are not using Facebook. They've moved on and migrated to Instagram. Facebook acquired WhatsApp and Instagram, and Facebook is doing like a ton of other things. So if you notice, Facebook as a company evolved. The problem with McDonald's was Dick McDonald. These guys wanted a fast food restaurant, but Ray Kroc was much more ambitious. He wanted the Americans to eat in McDonald's. So Mac and Dick McDonald, their history, but Ray Kroc is not, and his work is not. So basically, the point is, all ideas, irrespective of how small or big they are, there is like a lot of depth that is involved in running an idea and executing it. So, for example, once you validate your idea, this process is like an endless cycle. Irrespective of how successful a company is, if they fail to evolve on the idea that they are trying to build to the world, they will fail. Nokia is a good example of not being able to act on the idea. The entire world knew that everybody is moving to Android. I mean, Indian companies such as Micromax emerged and they were dead. There were like a lot of other companies, Lava phones. So these companies were born and these guys were dead. But these guys were small companies which banked on that idea to execution stage, whereas Nokia could not. When do ideas get stolen? Now, not everybody can steal your idea. For example, if I ask my dad and tell him, or if I go to my grandfather and I tell him that, hey, the Bitcoin is rising crazy, or if I give him an insider information that the stocks of a particular company is going to rise by crazy amounts. If the person knows about the stock market and has competence in that and the money, of course, they might be able to make big money out of that. But if I go and randomly talk about the stock market to a person who's perhaps in the ninth grade and does not have any information, knowledge, or interest in the stock market, they might not be able to do shit with that idea. So, yes, ideas do get stolen, but people with competence in the relevant field will be able to steal it. Second is, a lot of ideas do not really get stolen in the raw form. They have to be very refined. They have to have a vision, plan, proof of concept, blueprint, prototype. And in such cases, yes, ideas do get stolen. But good thing is there are patents which can protect your ideas from being stolen. But again, if you go to a patent office saying that, hey, I want to do this, they'll kick you out. They don't not even listen to you. So the point is, yes, ideas do get stolen, but ideas do not really get stolen. So the question is, should you be worried? Yes and no. In 99.9% cases, just like Lifebuoy says, you should not be worried about your ideas getting stolen. And in the remaining 0.01% of the outlier cases that you might have, yes, you should be worried. But again, saying this from the experiences that I've had in talking to other people about ideas. If you fall in this category of the yes, then you'd know that your idea is so damn good that it can be stolen. Some examples of ideas that which get stolen, or which, if gotten stolen, could have caused havoc, would be, let's say, the algorithm Google follows to rank pages on their search results, or let's say the entire methodology on which a lot of companies build or manufacture drugs. There's secret formulas. There's like a lot of crazy things which can be stolen. But again, these ideas or these things, if they get stolen, are raw, kacha. For them to be able to uh, take that journey from being just a raw idea to that execution stage, this is like a crazy ride to take. So my verdict: yes, ideas can get stolen, but in most cases, you should not be worried about it. I hope you like the video, and if yes, you did, and you've been watching up to this point, then guys, drop in an apple, and if you feel you might want to like and subscribe, then go smash those buttons. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next episode where we talk about the journey of an idea.